Remember those like clunky old chatbots? The ones that could barely understand a simple question? Well, get ready to meet Mistral AI, this French startup that's kind of shaking up the AI world with, get this, surprisingly powerful small language models. Welcome to the AI Timeline channel. If you're enjoying this, please, like and subscribe. And yeah, now have fun with the podcast.
So we've got a whole stack of articles and research on Mistral AI, and let's just say things are getting kind of interesting, like really interesting in the world of AI. Founded just last year, 2023, this French startup is already making waves, and they're doing it with like a surprisingly lean team.
Yeah. What's fascinating is they've only got like about 60 employees.
Whoa, really?
Yeah.
That's a pretty small crew to be taking on, the AI giants, wouldn't you say?
For sure. It's definitely like a David versus Goliath situation, but they seem to be punching like well above their weight.
Yeah.
And investors are definitely taking notice.
Oh, yeah.
To the tune of a whopping $600 million
Oh.
in their latest funding round.
Seriously. Yeah, that's more than triple their valuation, bringing it to almost 6 billion euros.
It makes you wonder, what are they doing with all that cash?
Right.
Like, where's it all going?
Well, a big part of their strategy seems to revolve around small language models.
Okay.
Now, before you picture a model like the size of a pocket calculator,
Right.
we're still talking billions of parameters here.
Okay.
Just not the hundreds of billions or even trillions that you see in some of the, behemoths out there.
Right. So small is relative in this case.
Exactly.
But what's the advantage of going smaller? Like, what's the philosophy behind that?
It's all about efficiency and accessibility. Smaller models require less computational power to train and run,
Yeah.
which makes them more accessible to a wider range of users. And that's a key part of Mistral's mission. They're all about democratizing AI.
I'm seeing a pattern here. Small team, small models, big impact.
Yeah.
And their latest star, Mistral Small, V24.09, embodies that philosophy perfectly.
It really does.
It's a 22 billion parameter language model that's already showing, like, impressive skills in understanding language, coding, and even reasoning.
Yeah.
Not bad for a small model.
It really challenges the assumption that you need massive scale to achieve impressive results in AI.
Yeah.
And this focus on efficiency translates into some tangible benefits,
Like what?
especially when it comes to things like speed and responsiveness.
Which is crucial for applications like, conversational agents, where you need that snappy back and forth to make it feel natural.
Exactly.
And speaking of chatbots, Mistral has one of those too, right?
They do, and it's called Le Chat. And here's where things get really interesting. They recently integrated image processing into Le Chat using their Mistral 12B model.
Hold on. Image processing in a chatbot. So I can show it a picture of my cat and ask it to like analyze its mood. Is that what we're talking about here?
Exactly. But beyond, the fun factor, think about the potential for accessibility. People with visual impairments could use Le Chat to see and understand images in a way that wasn't possible before.
That's a great point. It really highlights how Mistral is thinking about the broader implications of their technology, not just the flashy features.
And this commitment to accessibility extends to their pricing model as well. They offer a free tier on their platform, La Platform, which gives developers like a sandbox to experiment with their AI models.
Oh, cool.
And they've also implemented price reductions across the board, making their tech even more affordable.
So they're really trying to break down those barriers to entry and make AI more inclusive.
Right.
Have to give them props for that. But let's get back to those small language models for a second.
Sure.
What else is cooking in Mistral's kitchen?
Well, that's where we get to Mistral Small 3. This model boasts a whopping 24 billion parameters,
Okay.
which sets a new standard for what's considered small in the world of language models, typically anything under 70 billion parameters.
Okay, so it's still technically small, but it sounds like this model packs a punch. What makes it so special?
For one, it's surprisingly powerful.
Hmm.
We're talking performance that rivals some of the larger models out there,
Really?
but with a fraction of the resource requirements.
So what you're saying is I could potentially run this, like, cutting-edge AI model on my own computer?
Potentially, yeah.
That's pretty mind-blowing.
It is. And it opens up a world of possibilities for developers and organizations who might not have the resources to work with those massive, cloud-based models.
Right.
Imagine being able to run advanced AI locally on a device as simple as a, tricked-out MacBook.
Okay, that's pretty impressive. But let's get down to brass tacks.
Okay.
What can you actually do with a model like Mistral Small 3?
The use cases are incredibly diverse.
Like what?
Think fast and responsive conversational agents, like chatbots that feel more, human-like, less robotic. Or low latency function calling, which is crucial for integrating AI seamlessly into other systems. You can even fine-tune it to develop expertise in a specific subject matter, like finance, healthcare, or, whatever your field might be.
So whether you're building the next generation of chatbots, crunching data in a specific field, or just exploring the possibilities of AI, Mistral Small 3 seems like it has you covered.
Exactly.
And let's not forget the open source aspect.
Right.
Anyone can take this model, adapt it, and build upon it. That's where the real magic happens, in my opinion.
Absolutely.
Mistral is fostering a whole ecosystem of innovation around their technology. It's like giving the keys to the AI kingdom to anyone with the creativity and know how to use them. What do you think, listeners? Is open source the way to go for AI? Share your thoughts in the comments.
Now, diving deeper into Mistral Small 3, let's talk about some of its key features. First off, this model is multilingual, supporting a wide range of languages, from English and French to Chinese and Japanese, so no more language barriers for AI.
That's huge for global applications. It's like they're breaking down the Tower of Babel, but for AI.
Exactly.
I love it.
And then there's its agent-centric design.
Okay.
What this means is that it's built for seamless integration with other systems. It can take instructions, process information, and then actually take actions based on what it's learned.
So it's not just about understanding language, it's about being able to act on that understanding.
Precisely. It's designed to be more proactive and capable of interacting with the world around it. It has native function calling and can output in JSON format, which makes it really easy to work with.
Okay, it's starting to see the bigger picture here. What about its reasoning abilities? Can this thing actually think for itself?
Well, think is a loaded word when it comes to AI.
Sure.
But Mistral Small 3 does demonstrate some impressive reasoning capabilities. It can handle complex conversations, follow instructions, and even draw inferences from the information it's given.
So while it's not quite sentient, it's definitely a step up in terms of AI being able to process and understand information in a more nuanced way.
Absolutely. And all of this is made possible by its impressive knowledge density. It packs a lot of information and processing power into a relatively small package.
A tiny but mighty AI powerhouse, if you will.
Exactly. And I can't emphasize enough how important that open source aspect is. It's like giving everyone the blueprints to build their own AI dreams. It fosters collaboration, innovation, and ultimately drives progress in the field much faster than a closed proprietary approach.
Okay, I'm officially on the Mistral AI hype train. They're lean, they're mean, they're making AI more accessible. But before we get too carried away, let's talk about their approach to responsible AI development.
That's a crucial point. Mistral AI seems to be very aware of the potential ethical implications of making powerful AI so readily available. That's why they've chosen to release Mistral Small 3 under the Apache 2.0 license.
So what does that mean for developers and users?
The Apache 2.0 license is a permissive open source license that allows for both commercial and non-commercial use. It encourages responsible use and modification while still giving people the freedom to innovate and build upon Mistral's technology.
So it's a balancing act, right?
Yeah.
Giving people the tools to innovate while also encouraging ethical and responsible development.
Exactly. And that's why it's so important to have these conversations about the potential impact of AI.
Yeah.
Mistral AI is not just building technology, they're shaping the future, and we need to be mindful of the implications.
That's a great point. We're not just talking about lines of code and algorithms. We're talking about the potential of AI to change the world.
And ultimately, it's up to us as individuals and as a society to guide that trajectory.
Well said. And on that thought-provoking note, I think it's time to explore another fascinating aspect of Mistral AI.
Remember how we were talking about Mistral's commitment to making AI more accessible? Well, it's not just developers and researchers they have in mind. They've created a way for, everyday users to experience their AI firsthand.
You're talking about their chatbot, LeChat, right? I'm curious, is it just another chatbot, or does it have something special that sets it apart?
It's definitely not your, run-of-the-mill chatbot. Mistral has integrated image processing into LeChat.
Really?
Using their Pixtral 12B model.
Wait, image processing? So I could show it a picture, and it can, actually understand what's in the image.
You got it. It can handle images of any size, analyze the content, and respond just as effectively as it does with text. You could show it a photo, a meme, a diagram, you name it.
That's pretty wild. So it's like having an AI assistant that can actually see. What are some like real-world applications for this kind of technology?
The possibilities are endless. Imagine being able to ask LeChat about the history behind a famous painting just by showing it a picture, or getting it to analyze a complex diagram for you.
Or maybe you're traveling and you see a landmark, but you don't know what it is. Just snap a picture and ask LeChat.
Exactly. And let's not forget the implications for accessibility. For people with visual impairments, this kind of technology could be a game changer. They could use LeChat to interact with visual content in a way that wasn't possible before.
That's a really powerful example of how AI can be used to make technology more inclusive. It seems like Mistral is really focused on making AI beneficial for everyone, not just a select few.
Absolutely. They're pushing the boundaries of what's possible with AI while also considering the ethical and societal implications. It's a refreshing approach in an industry that can sometimes feel driven by, hype and profit.
So we've talked about Mistral's small language models, their commitment to accessibility, their open source approach. But where does Mistral fit into the larger AI landscape? What does their success mean for the future of the industry?
That's a great question. On the one hand, you have these massive tech giants pouring billions of dollars into developing ever larger language models, almost like an AI arms race.
It's like everyone is obsessed with building the biggest, most powerful AI, regardless of the cost or the consequences.
Right. And then you have Mistral coming along and saying, hey, we can achieve amazing things with AI without sacrificing practicality or inclusivity. Their success suggests that there's more than one path to AI development, and that bigger isn't always better.
It's almost like they're David taking on the Goliaths of the AI world.
Yeah.
What do you think, listeners? Is Mistral's approach a sign of things to come, or is it just a blip on the radar? Let us know in the comments.
It's definitely a challenge to the status quo. They're proving that you don't need massive resources to make a significant impact in AI, and their focus on efficiency and accessibility could be a sign of a shift towards more sustainable and equitable AI development.
It's interesting to think about how other players in the AI landscape might respond to Mistral's success. Will they double down on their current strategies, or will they start to embrace a more collaborative and accessible approach?
Only time will tell. But Mistral has certainly shaken things up and forced everyone to reevaluate their assumptions about what AI can be. They've injected a healthy dose of competition and a fresh perspective into the industry.
It's a reminder that innovation often comes from unexpected places. And in Mistral's case, it seems to be driven by a genuine desire to make AI a force for good in the world.
It's a story that's both inspiring and thought-provoking. And as we move into the final part of our deep dive, I think it's worth considering what Mistral's success tells us about the future of AI. Is this the direction the industry is heading in? What are the potential benefits and risks of making powerful AI more accessible?
These are big questions, and we'll explore them in more depth as we wrap up our exploration of Mistral AI. So we've spent this deep dive exploring the fascinating world of Mistral AI, this company that's, kind of challenging the status quo in the AI industry. They're doing things differently, and their success is raising some pretty big questions about the future of AI.
It's almost like they've thrown a pebble into a pond and, the ripples are starting to spread.
Exactly. We've seen how their focus on small language models, accessibility, and open source development is shaking things up. But what does it all mean in the grand scheme of things?
Right.
Is Mistral AI a sign of a larger shift in the AI landscape, or are they just a, fascinating anomaly?
It's too early to say for sure, but I think their impact is undeniable. They've injected a healthy dose of competition into the market and forced everyone to reconsider their assumptions about what AI can be.
Their success seemed to be resonating with developers and investors alike.
Yeah, it really is.
They've proven that you don't need to be a tech giant with unlimited resources to innovate in AI. And their commitment to making AI more accessible is like a breath of fresh air.
I think their story is particularly inspiring for smaller companies and startups. It shows that with the right approach and a clear vision, it's possible to make a real difference in a field that's often dominated by, big players.
It's like they're saying, hey, you don't need a massive server farm and an army of engineers to do amazing things with AI.
Exactly.
And their open source philosophy is further amplifying their impact. By making their technology available to, anyone, They're fostering a global community of developers and researchers who can build upon their work and push the boundaries of what's possible.
It's a stark contrast to the closed proprietary approach that many tech giants have taken with their AI developments.
Yeah, for sure.
And I think it's a sign of a positive trend in the AI industry. As AI becomes more powerful and pervasive, it's crucial that we have a diversity of approaches and a commitment to open collaboration.
Because ultimately, AI should benefit everyone, not just a select few. And that's where I think Mistral's story is most compelling. They're not just building technology for technology's sake. They're building it with a purpose.
Their vision seems to be about empowering people, democratizing access to AI, and
Yep.
using this incredible technology to solve real-world problems.
It's about creating a future where AI is a force for good, not something to be feared or controlled by a small group of elites.
And that's a message that resonates deeply with me. It's a reminder that we all have a role to play in shaping the future of AI.
So as we wrap up our deep dive into Mistral AI, I think the big takeaway is this. Keep an eye on this company.
Yeah.
They're doing things differently, and their approach could have a profound impact on the AI landscape for years to come.
They've shown that innovation can come from unexpected places and that a commitment to accessibility and open collaboration can be a powerful catalyst for change.
It's a story that's both inspiring and, as we said, thought-provoking, and it leaves us with a sense of optimism about the future of AI. Thank you very much for listening. Please leave a like and subscribe, and until next time.